Rivian has refreshed its flagship R1 cars, calling them Gen 2. With whatever information I could lay my hands on, most of these improvements appear to be on the engineering front and the efficiencies with the car. A completely new electrical architecture, an LFP battery with reduced usable capacity with the same projected range, drive units that are now all built in-house, and the only real consumer experience enhancement is brand new software platform. So let's get into it. The computing power difference between the Gen 1 and Gen 2 R1 models can be significant, typically involving several aspects such as processing speed that goes up 10 times, onboard computing capabilities, sensor integration, and software features. And please pay attention as this one could have significant implications in the long term. Rivian has surely geared up for the next generation computing on the Gen 2. It's promised to boost the computational power, improve GPUs, and crucially the other hardware components that could prove useful for autonomous driving. The Gen 2 R1 will feature the dual NVIDIA Drive Orin processors, which places Rivian in the club of Lucid, BYD, and XPeng. Another indicator of enhanced capability for autonomous driving are the improved sensors, improved cameras, which are all new 4K HDR units, both of which could improve the car's object recognition, detection, and safety features. Not to miss its value in improved navigation. I have reason to believe that all of these will improve the overall connectivity of the car, and that means better data processing with over-the-air updates. Rivian's partnership with Unreal Engine is yet not fully appreciated. While its immediate implications appear to be on the infotainment, this could well lay the foundations for better data collection and algorithms via better user interactions, richer UI and decision constructs. The artificial intelligence fraternity could have plenty to be excited about in this. This could open up an ocean full of cloud-based services and bring improved communication protocols. We'll hold on to our horses here and reiterate that these are in the end possibilities which will depend on Rivian executing well. Another area that could get better are the system response times, voice control, and generally better interactions with the car. As usual, we look forward to it. In the previous iterations, the R1 platform could have a dual motor configurable with either of the four battery pack options. The Standard Plus, that's now discontinued, the Large and the Max. The dual motor performance could be configured with the last three of the four, and the sole quad motor could only be configured with the large pack. Rivian's Enduro drive unit was its first step away from the Bosch motors and was built in-house. The R1 Gen 2 completes that transition and brings a fourth tri-motor drive unit. So the dual motor unit can now be configured with either the standard, large or the max pack, while the tri-motor unit can only be configured with the max pack. The quad motor I believe too can be configured with the max pack alone, but that we'll confirm later as it currently seems unavailable on the Rivian configurator. So the dual motor standard offers 533 horsepower and 610 pound-feet of torque, doing a 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds. An upgrade to the dual motor performance offers 665 horsepower and 829 pound-feet with a 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds. The tri-motor offers 850 horsepower and 1103 pound-feet with a 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds. That's closer to the Gen 1 quad motor. The new quad motor currently unavailable promises a stunning 1025 horsepower and 1198 pound-feet of torque with a 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds. Pardon me for failing to understand what fraction of the market will look up to that extra 200 horsepower in those two top trims. Or for that matter, all those extra fractions of seconds in 0 to 60 for those thousands of dollars. The performance enthusiasts aside, we know Rivian is great at engineering, especially for its age, but it needs higher sales today. Plain and simple. The mission really here is the broader electrification of transport, the last I understood. The production efficiencies achieved in the changes are better justified in my opinion. The usable battery numbers too have been updated. The standard LFP battery offers 92.5 kWh. That's down from 105 kWh, probably on cell rearrangements. The large pack 109.4 kWh, down from the 125 to 126 kWh, and the max pack at 141.5 kWh, probably down from 145. The dual motor trims have a max DC of 200 kW and the remaining offer 220, a tad disappointing. What else? A new zonal electrical architecture has reduced its previous 17 ECUs to just 7, reducing a significant amount of its electrical overhead. For the purpose of this video, we are looking at the R1S and its changes. The dimensions appear to have remained the same. There are several little changes across the body, but those I was unable to document here on the paucity of time. It's offered two distinct packages for the Gen 2 R1, the Adventure package for the dual motor cars and the Ascent package for the tri-motor and quad motor variants. In some way that simplifies trim selection, which otherwise has been complicated in Rivians with the excessive battery and drive system combinations. The door panels show a large soft touch stitched surface extending from the elbow rest to the top of the door frame, with a fabric insert cutting in between. The door handle now has a button with a silver accent that runs across. This could be different in the tri-motor and the quad motor trims. At the bottom is a speaker alongside a large storage compartment. On the dash, Rivian has not added a glove box, which is promised in the R2, and instead it offers a decent sized cubby under the passenger and the driver seat. Surely not large enough to replace the glove box, but fairly useful. The dash has aluminum accents and the extended soft touch material along with the fabric insert, like the door panels. The ventilation is maintained under the center display, just like the previous gen. We have already spoken about the technology going into the car, but the differences to the eyes are evident, with a very video game look to the graphics and an experience that should be more fun. The front seats have the high fixed height headrest and the lumpy shoulder rest. The Rivian logo sits in between. The seats have a fairly comfortable design that's extended to the seats in the rear as well. The center console still has the wide open storage in the front. A slide out drawer adds more storage. A clamshell style opening armrest with the wireless charging pads in the front. These still don't do a great job in holding the phone in their place, even after the stated improvements. We anyway don't recommend using wireless charging in any car in view of the phone's battery health, at least as far as possible. The armrest has a deep storage beneath with the two USB-C ports underneath. The row 2 passengers continue to get the hanger function with a USB-C port that could help with maybe an iPad behind the headrest of the front seats, using some aftermarket accessory, with a slightly different cubby under it. The rear screen offers climate control settings for the rear passengers. It's still not been tapped for the additional opportunities as RJ had stated they would during his Insta chat last year. There is surely demand for apps and more there. Most or all of this is largely unchanged. Rivian has maintained the 3-spoke steering wheel with the 2 scroll wheels and left-right buttons. They are used to adjust the mirrors, the steering wheel, to access the infotainment and phone calls. With all that retooling, Rivian has surely differentiated the R1S from the R1T, acknowledging that it won't need to support the payload of a truck and enabling it accordingly to become a vehicle by itself, which it is, but will now not share as much with the R1T as before. Rivian has put substantial work into its exterior lights, much like in the entire body. The light bar is the same light shape on the front fascia with a sleeker main beam. Rivian has introduced the matrix LEDs to be enabled subject to US regulations, I suppose. And the light bar is now divided into 2 strips, with the one below divided into segments with increments of 10, representing the state of charge unlike the pure pulsation of the previous gen vehicles. So you not only see your car charging from a distance, but now actually know the approximate charging status. The turn signals are separated from the main beam and placed where the fog lights used to be. The front trunk is still 2-stage, though with a differently organized design with all the various accessories. The separator is of a durable rubberized material with a cargo net on the one side of the front. We recently presented our full impressions of the Gen 1 R1S and you can view that video here or with its link in the description. While I've presented here the things I see first up, its actual handling ability, driving precision and actual daily use performance is something that I can only determine once I get some good time with the cars. Some of these things appear to lay an emphasis on Rivian's technology prowess and its appeal to its backers, and I even see some significant over-engineering to that end. For instance, I completely failed to see the idea behind the tri-motor here, with a quad motor that was already available. True, it effectively replaced the quad motor option, at least in an immediate context, or some of the juggling in the battery capacities. Those are not going to be felt by most users in the real world. It clearly seems a case of over-engineering for the business unless we see some real problem being solved. In the end, I am really interested to know how good the ride quality has got. How well is the heat pump working, especially with its base trim? How good is the charge curve? Rivian has been offering extremely attractive lease rates and other incentives on the previous Gen R1 to clear its inventory. That's prudent as it would not have wanted its vehicles from both the generations cannibalizing each other, and I get a feeling that they have done well on that, which should be good going forward for it as a company. Listen, if you like our content, do let us know. We will love to hear your thoughts, and please correct me where you think I need to be. If you would like to see the 20,000 miles ownership review of our Tesla Model 3 rear-wheel drive with the LFP battery, click here or the link in the description. See you in the next one.